And welcome to the Aaron Katzman Show. I'm your host, Aaron Katzman. We're here to speak to you about your life, your money, and your investments. And as always, we're coming to you from the spiritual and soon-to-be financial capital of the world, Jerusalem, Israel. If you got any questions or comments, feel free to email me at Aaron, Aaron, at lighthouse with an L, lighthousecapital.co.il. That's Aaron at lighthousecapital.co.il. You can check me out on the web at www.aaronkatzman.com. That's www.aaronkatzman, aaronkatzman.com. Be sure to follow me on both Twitter and LinkedIn and subscribe to our YouTube channel. So this show is coming right before the Jewish New Year, what's called Rosh Hashanah, the Jewish New Year. And I'd like to speak a little bit about how Rosh Hashanah interacts with your finances. Now, the Jewish tradition on Rosh Hashanah, the New Year, you don't go out and get drunk. You actually spend most of the day in synagogue praying, and eating fish heads. So that's another story. But really, it's a day of reflection and a day of looking ahead, right? It's not just reflecting on all the bad things that we did, okay, which is a big part of the day. And we do all kinds of things. We blow a ram's horn, which is called a shofar, in order to wake us up from our slumber, because like now is the time. We have 10 days between the New Year and the Day of Atonement, which is called Yom Kippur. And we got to wake up. Right now is the time to wake up and get ourselves back, recalibrated, back on the way, the path, let's say, that we should really be focusing and living our lives. So we start by looking back. What are the bad things we did? What are things that we can correct going forward? Now, I think it's important not to say, well, I did, 40 bad things. I've got 40 bad character traits, and I'm going to try and correct them all. Because we all know, just like you have for your New Year's resolutions, that, it lasts about a day and a half, and then we fall back to the same way we did. But I think if you focus on one thing, one aspect of your character that you can improve, I think that goes ahead and makes that's something that's more sustainable, and you can actually make a difference and make a change. It's like, when a baby starts to walk, they don't start out by running a marathon, right? They take a step and they fall, 2 steps and they fall, and then all of a sudden they're able to walk. That should be the approach of our changing our character. And it's also about the day, I think, is also about not just bad things and correcting the bad, but trying to improve ourselves. What was our potential? What is our potential? Did we maximize our potential, right? And can we take our good qualities and the potential we haven't actualized, realize that potential? And I think that's the approach that we should take during this time of the year for Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur. Now, what is the connection to your finances? Well, I think that we all make financial mistakes, right? It's not that we just overpaid on a dress, or we got ripped off by the electric company, right? That's not exactly what I mean. Obviously, you have to correct those things. But what mistakes do we make? Investing mistakes, right? Did we get off of our investment plan? Did we get off of our financial plan over the last year? And what can we do to improve that? What can we do to improve our financial future? And of course, we're going to always make mistakes, right? We always make, everybody makes bad investments from time to time. Everybody spends money impulsively. But I think that the goal going forward should be to try and limit those things, because if we limit those things, that means we're ultimately going to limit the damage, and we can be on a much more secure financial path. So the first thing we need to do is budget, right? Set out a budget. How much money do I have coming in? How much money is going out, right? We want to tighten it up a little bit if possible. If you've been living sort of a little carelessly or carefree, you want to tighten up your budget a little bit so that you can ultimately add a little bit more money to savings, to long-term savings, to short-term savings. Ultimately, we want to get at least 10% of our income, a monthly income, being saved. Now, if you're working in Israel and you've got money that's going into pension, into Keren Hishtalmut, pretty much 10% of your income is already going to be saved, believe it or not. I know people are, I can't save money in Israel. That's not true. You are doing it pretty much on a daily basis, a monthly basis. Okay, but if you can find some more money to put into sort of taxable savings, more power to you. That's going to get you, that's going to really jumpstart your financial plan and get you, again, towards that secure financial future that we're all after. Once you do the budget, then start, obviously, investing. Obviously, if you've got any debts, you want to get yourself out of debt sooner rather than later. But the focus here really is getting your money invested correctly for the long term and the medium term, right? You might have life cycle events that come up, and your money should help you meet those needs. I'm a big fan and a big believer, I would say, what's called goals-based investing. I've told the story 100 times, I've written about it, but I remember growing up, I saw a bumper sticker on a car, and it said something to the effect of, whoever dies with the most money wins. Now, that's sort of cute. Maybe it's cute, maybe it's not cute, but it really isn't, I think, the way that we should live financially. I think the money should be used to, and financial success should be defined almost as, are we able to achieve our goals and meet our needs, right? It could be retirement, it could be paying for a wedding, it could be paying for braces for our children. If we live financially responsible, in a financially responsible manner, and then we're able to, braces, check, putting away 15% of my income into savings, check, right? If we can go through all those things and then hit our goals going forward, whatever they are, and they always change, right? The yardstick that we measure our goals by is it's a moving target, right? As we go through life, we'll meet some of those goals again, like I said, right? You're going to pay for a wedding and pay for braces, whatever it is, and then there's new goals, ultimately culminating in sort of retirement. If we're focused on that, and that is the way that we approach our finances, I think you'll be a lot better off than just trying to hoard as much money as humanly possible, right? And being buried with it, because let's face it, being buried with your money isn't much of an accomplishment, is it? On that happy note, I want to wish you all a happy and healthy and sweet new year. All of our prayers should be answered, and we should have let's say a healthier year, a better year than the previous Corona-filled year. As a Corona victim, not a victim, but as a Corona person who was afflicted with Corona, I wish you all not to go through what I have had to go through, and we should all have a healthy, happy new year. So Shana Tova to all. You've been tuning into the Aaron Katzman Show. I am your host, Aaron Katzman. We speak about your life, your money, and your investments. If you've got any questions or comments, feel free to email me at Aaron, AARON, at lighthousecapital.co.il. Check me out on the web at www.aaronkatzman.com. Be sure to follow me on both Twitter and LinkedIn, and subscribe to our brand new YouTube channel. Shana Tova, and we'll see you soon.